Welcome back. Meet and Eat Charcuterie is helping us trick or treat today. Here to tell us more is owner Kristen Cronin. Thanks so much for coming in today.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. I actually want to start off just talking a little bit about you and how you got started with Meet and Eat Charcuterie.
Yeah, so I actually had a very vivid dream that I carved the buffalo skyline out of cheese. And then I did it.
Okay.
And then I ended up selling a ton of boards. Like, people were just ordering the skyline, and that continued to grow. I started teaching people how to carve the buffalo skyline out of cheese and just loved arranging platters and entertaining. And that's now grown into a brick and mortar in Larkinville.
Very, very nice. Okay, so let's talk about the Western New York Cheese Academy that you have within your shop.
Yes, so I love connecting experts to enthusiasts. That's pretty much my mission with this. And the Western New York Cheese Academy is a space just for that. So we do wine and cheese tastings, we do charcuterie board classes, we do pairings like this one, and then I also invite other community members in to teach their classes. We had a candle class, a cookie decorating class, so it's really meant for learning, education, tasting.
Well, speaking of tasting, in the spooky spirit, you decided to do a little pairing with us for candy and cheeses.
Yes.
Okay, walk us through what you brought in today.
So it's so unique in general. I feel like people don't think to pair cheese with Halloween candy.
Yeah.
But I chose the Halloween candy that's going to be at the bottom of the bucket because typically, like Kit Kats and Reese's, those go first,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So, and then the cheeses that I chose are Italian cheeses or cheeses that you might find in your refrigerator.
Okay.
So the first one is Asiago and a Hershey bar.
Okay.
So Asiago is very sweet and very nutty. The Hershey bar is kind of a plain, milky, creamy. So we like to pair things that are plain with things that have a little bit more of a complex profile.
Love
Together,
it.
right?
Love it.
The second one is Parmesan with a Twix bar.
Okay.
So the Twix has the crunchy nougat. And then the Parmesan is, again, like a nuttier, sharper cheese. So this one is actually my favorite pairing. It's like so unassuming. What do you think about that? Isn't that crazy?
These are things that you, like, I would never think, oh, what cheese should go with my candy?
And usually you would put that on spaghetti or you'd put it with, you know, like on a pizza or something like this. So this is a little bit more unique.
And we just learned that Troopero's favorite candy is Twix, so we need to drop him off some Parmesan and some Twix.
This one is a Pecorino and a Milky Way. So Milky Way is more, has caramel in it.
Yeah.
So the caramel with the Pecorino Romano actually really complement each other.
Okay.
What do we think of that one? Pretty good, right? And then the last one we have is just a mild, creamy brie.
Oh, I love a brie.
So the brie, we're pairing it with a Three Musketeers. So the Three Musketeers actually has a mousse inside of it. So when you're pairing something creamy with something creamy, it just tastes so great together. You could also pair that one with a Kit Kat or a Snickers, something with nutty in it, a different type of candy.
No, they're both so smooth.
Yeah, that's what I love about it.
Yeah.
And then with wine, you know, some of our lighter cheeses, like brie would go with a Chardonnay, where these other really bold cheeses would go with red wine. So Pinot Noirs, Cabernets, that's what I would do tonight after the kids go to bed.
After the kids go to bed. That's right. This is for the adults. We've talked a little bit about safety. We've talked about different candy. We're going to have cookies coming up, but this is for the adults.
That's right.
So tell us a little bit more about your space that you're opening in Larkinville.
Yeah, so the space has a fast casual charcuterie board making bar as well as a wine bar. So you get to choose what goes on the board and it's made to order in front of you. Our wines all pair with everything that you would choose in the charcuterie bar. We also have a local retail market where we're featuring all local artisans. And then we have our Western New York Cheese Academy, which can be booked for different events. You can also book it for birthday parties, showers, all sorts of things.
And okay, so I want to go back to this idea, this dream you had about carving the Western New York skyline out of cheese.
Yeah.
So have you always had an artistic background?
I have. Since I was a kid, I loved art. I used to paint. I would paint murals, and I never really took that into my adulthood. So I feel like even actually during the pandemic, I was arranging breakfast foods, kind of like charcuterie boards. So it started really during the pandemic.
Yeah.
And then I had this vivid dream, and I continued it.
Okay. So do you have any classes or anything coming up soon?
Yeah. So on Tuesday, November 26th, we're doing a Thanksgiving wine and cheese pairing.
Oh, that's the day before my birthday.
Oh, no way. You should come. Yeah, we're going to do Thanksgiving wines that you would put on your table.
Nice.
And then sweet and savory cheeses like sage and cranberry and pumpkin. So we're going to do a pairing that day.
Nice. So have these classes been a hit?
Oh my gosh. We sell out usually in 48 hours. Yeah.
Wow.
It's been amazing.
That is amazing.
Thank you.
And can people come to you with an idea of a class they'd like?
Yes.
Or for kind of something like a private small group?
Absolutely. I'm so open to different ideas. That's how the fun happens. When
Yeah.
people are like, hey, could we try this? I'm like, absolutely, let's do it.
When you started this, when you had this dream, then you carved out the Western New York skyline in cheese. Did you ever imagine yourself getting to the point now where you have a brick and mortar?
Absolutely not.
Wow.
If you would have asked me, I was an executive at a bank before this, so I went from corporate to cheese. So if you would have asked me 5 years ago if this is where I would be, I would never have thought.
But do you love it?
I absolutely love it.
That's
I'm having so much
amazing.
fun.
Yeah, and you're creating it's such a fun thing. Adults have very little things that we can do that are such like a fun, like goofy thing for us to do, and a passion.
Yeah.
When people come out to your classes, it's learning things, different things. It's getting your friends together, but it's also just like having fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And just like taking a break during the day, and that skill set too. You can take that skill set back with you for entertaining.
And yeah. So how can people get in touch with you if they'd like to book a class or learn more?
Yeah, meetandeatcharcuterie.com or on Instagram. That's really where I do most of, just because it's so visual.
Yeah.
So I'm on Instagram at Meet Eat Charcuterie, and yeah, they can call or email us.
Alrighty, Kristen. Thank you so much for coming in and making this awesome pairing for us. Viewers, if you would like to learn more about her made-to-order charcuterie boards or the Western New York Cheese Academy, just visit meetandeatcharcuterie.com. Thanks again for coming in, Kristen.
Thanks for having me.